Hey, yo, what's up? So, a different camera angle because I'm just going to do the video laying down in my car because why not? Because YOLO. So, I wanted to talk about some of the parallels of a relationship and a dog and just pet ownership in general. So, because I feel like a lot of people just kind of get both of these things. They want to enter relationships and they want to get pets without actually really thinking about the responsibilities that it entails. These people that are the types that think, oh, bro, a relationship isn't worth it, bro. It's like, oh, you'll get tired or whatever, right? Because they kind of think of a relationship as the next step, right? Oh, it's like, oh, I just like sleeping with her. So, the next step is just to get into a relationship. It's kind of how some people think, oh, right, you graduate high school, just go to college, bro, even though you don't know what you want, right? I know I made that stupid mistake of just going to college right after um, high school because, it's what you're supposed to do, right? And, it worked out for me, but I do recognize it's stupid, and it's like I didn't have any ambition or goal or whatever. It's like I still got a job. I just took the first job that accepted me on Indeed because I was just working at Walmart before that, and I still need to make the video on working at Walmart. But yeah, I just took it in the first job, and I just never quit because I have a feeling that you could say, oh, bro, whatever. It's like I feel like I have no transferable skills, right? And I wouldn't want to go back to school because I hate school. School is just like a normie haven, right? Where it's like it just doesn't. I feel like I actually would have done better in school during 2020 where it was all online and I wouldn't have to go in so much. I wouldn't have to be so exposed to all the girls around campus that never really liked me, right? And I would just cling on to the hope, oh, one day one of these girls will like me, right? But it's like obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, going back to the parallel, so it's like people don't really realize that both things have a lot of responsibility, right? And like with pet ownership, people will get a dog and think, oh, bro, you just feed it and take it out on a walk, right? You just give it water and food and take it out on a walk once a day. But their walk will be like maybe like a half an hour walk, maybe, and then the dog's pulling the leash, right? It's like how are you gonna get a dog and you can't even train to loose leash walk? That's such a basic thing. And it's like at that point, it's like even though you can feed the dog, and I know because they're seen as property and stuff, right? But at the end of the day, it's still a living being that has like mental and emotional needs. So you can't just give it, oh, just give it water, just take it out on a walk, right? That's why I'm saying most people, a lot of people shouldn't get dogs, right? And so, but they're treated as just a toy you get, right? You see it, oh, I'm gonna get my kid a dog for Christmas, right? It's like, yeah, you're gonna get a 10-year-old kid a dog for Christmas, and a 10-year-old kid cannot really understand the responsibility. Most of them cannot of taking care of the mental, emotional, physical needs of another living being, right? It's the same thing with a relationship. Most people, most adults, right? Most, like, even 30-year-old people just like me. That's why there's so many divorces, because people don't understand that it's not just, oh, bro, I like sleeping with this girl, so, the next step is let's get in a relationship, right? It's like, no, you can't just, that's just not it's not just a natural progression, right? Because people just don't understand that there's a certain responsibility that you need to actually accept when you enter a relationship, right? It's like there's responsibilities to it, and most people just don't really like accepting the responsibilities. They like the idea of it, but they don't actually like doing it, right? When I got a dog, because I had one when I was a kid, and then it passed away. And then at that moment, it passed away when I was was it in my early 20s, And at that point, I kind of understood. Okay, I wanted another one because it's like, why not get it? Because I guess it almost goes back into feeding my need for a relationship, right? Because I just do enjoy taking care of someone, right? And it kind of was sparked by the fact that I had a female lab that was it my sister took in from some friend that moved away, and they couldn't have a dog in their apartment or something like that, right? And so we just took it in. I already had a dog at that point, another lab, a male, and I liked him and stuff because I wanted the dog, and I got him when I was like maybe like 12 years old or something like that. And then at that point I didn't understand the responsibility either, right? So I mean, it was kind of stupid of my parents to get me that, but and he wasn't that very well trained, but I just learned from all my mistakes there, right? I was able to like learn. It's like, hey, I had this other dog, and so then I wanted, and I didn't give him the best possible treatment that I could have. I didn't completely um satisfy the emotional, physical, and mental needs of a dog, right? It's like, was he fed and like given water and a bed and shelter, all that? Sure, yeah, but that's not really saying much in the grand scheme of things, right? So when I got the other female dog, I was like, okay, I don't know why. I just ended up bonding with that dog a lot more for some weird reason. I don't even remember why, because I didn't even like the dog at the beginning. Because I was like, this isn't my dog. I like my dog. This is another person's dog. But I don't know. Eventually, we just got along, and I think it partially has to do with the fact that it was a female dog, and I just kind of do enjoy taking care of you know I guess I can't take care of a woman, right? I'll take care of the next best thing, right? And take care of it and have someone who almost looks to you and for you know validation and for to help satisfy the some of their needs, right? That's I guess why, like in another video I said, like I like to to some extent spoil my sister, right? It's like I got her, what is it, those like AirPod, the Apple brand, like over ear headphones, right? After she said that, it's like for no big for I think there was no special reason, just because she told me. I just surprised her with that, right? So you'd be like, oh bro, you're such a simp, right? And sure, so maybe. And like I already said about the other story about giving my other ex EGF, what is it, the laptop for League, all this stuff, right? So I don't know. I just can't help it, right? It's like I do enjoy taking care of some kind of female in my life, right? It's like, since I can't do it with an actual woman, right? It's like you may as well do the next best thing and just get a female dog. That's why my current dog is a female. Like I didn't want another male dog because I do like the fact that you know um my dog is a girl, so it's like it's almost like taking care of what is it, it almost satisfies that emotional need in myself to take care of what is it, another feminine being, to I guess to some extent. That's kind of the best rationalization I can think of, right? It's almost it is kind of a cope in that term. So but yeah, going back to the main point, right? The parallel, right? So people don't realize that there's a responsibility, right? And then, I like I said, I when I got the new dog, I did I did my research online. I figured out, it's like, what do dogs need? What do they actually need to be satisfied, right, and live a fulfilled life, emotionally, physically, and mentally, right? That because they and how to train one, right? It's like how to actually train one, because I was like, you know what, I don't want my dog to be constrained to only have to live on a leash, right? It's like I want my dog to be able to go to the park No, every park, right? Like I take my dog to several different parks, and yes, I will say, it's like I don't really care. They say leash laws or whatever, advertising. It's like whatever. We'll take our little corner and we'll play some frisbee or some fetch or whatever, right? Because guess what? Like it's also training her in the moment, right? It's like it doesn't matter. The background distractions around me, whatever, whether it's other people, playing with their dogs, or other people walking their dogs, or just other people doing whatever at the park, right? Families hanging out, little kids running and screaming at the playground. It's like whatever. It's training her to just kind of that's all just background noise. You can look and observe in the world, but you don't, run off, whatever, and do your thing, right? You stay with me, and we play our game. It's like the outside world doesn't matter, right? It's just me and you, and good things come from me, so you stay with me, so, it's that kind of stuff. And then she's able to live a much more fulfilled life rather than, oh, yeah, I'm just going to keep my dog on a leash and have it pull me everywhere, right? Like most people, right? If you look out, you'll see pay attention to most people walking their dogs, and most people's dogs are just going to be pulling them ahead, right? It's like the leash is, fully straightened out and tight, and it's like that kind of stuff, right? It's like people say, oh, bro, it doesn't matter, but it's not even like a dominance thing or whatever, right? It's just good, well-behaved dogs, right? And that's the kind of dog that's welcomed in more places, right? Like, I spent like this is good. This is probably one of the origin of my cope of going to the pet stores, right? I would take my dog legit almost at least 3 to 4 times a week to the pet store, like PetSmart or Petco or whatever other pet store, just to get her to, expose her to, other places, right? Like a place where they have other dogs walking around, and um, other people walking around, and that kind of stuff. Because when I got her from the shelter, she'd be leash reactive, right? She'd bark at other dogs while we were walking on the leash, and now she doesn't do that anymore after like 2 years of pretty consistent training. Because it's like I knew, it's my responsibility, right? Kind of just like with a relationship. I understand that there's responsibilities in a relationship, but copers, gaslighters will say, oh bro, a relationship isn't worth it, right? This is where we get to the actual parallels, right? They believe, because they themselves don't understand that there's responsibilities and tasks that you need to, they don't truly understand how a relationship works, that you are responsible for up maintaining the image that the girl actually fell in love with, right? You can't just slack off and just become less than whatever, right? You have to maintain that image at the very least. And you have to do things that satisfy the emotional, mental, and physical needs of another person, right? I understand there's responsibilities, and you have to almost, it's not necessarily taking care of in the way that you take care of like a kid, but in ways it kind of can be, right? But it's like it is, you do have the responsibility of taking care of another person and that kind of stuff, right? It's like I understand all these things, and I still want a relationship after that kind of things. Kind of like how I understood all these things about all the responsibilities about giving a dog a truly satisfied life, right? For the most part, to the most that I can, right? Like it doesn't matter if I had a long day at work. I will still go out and suffer, even though I'm hungry or tired or sleepy, and still walk the dog or play fetch, tire her out. Because I understand, dogs are, for the most part, they're naturally supposed to run all day long, right? Can they do that in the modern world? No, but I'll make sure to give the most that I can, right, with my life schedule, right? And not just like half-assing it, like, oh bro, I can only do half an hour. It's like, no. And it's like, how most people do it, right? It's like I understand. It's like most people just whatever. Most people just kind of neglect their dogs for the most part, right? They don't actually like to take care of them because you'll always hear other people's dogs barking in the background or whatever, and just it's not necessarily a bad behavior to the dog, but it's seen by humans as a bad, unfavorable behavior, right? It's like they don't put an effort to help the dog calm down and realize that it doesn't have to bark at every noise, right? It can remain calm and look to you, and when my dog hears some weird sound, she's not going to instantly start barking at it. She'll just look at me and she'll listen and be attentive, but she'll come and look at me and come to me to, for, I guess, almost like reassurance, or, for something. It's like, hey, I heard that. It's like, she's going to come to me, right? She's not going to start making a scene and going crazy. It's like people don't do that kind of stuff, right? It's like, you have to do the kind of same kind of stuff in a relationship, right? You have to take responsibility and, help the other person out when you can, right? And and make sacrifices, right? Like I said, like I'll sacrifice. I'm fine with going out and making sacrifices. Like I'm tired, sleepy, sick, whatever. I'll still go out and walk the dog and play fetch, make sure she's physically tired, and all this stuff, right? And with a relationship, I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And also, oh yeah, we just get a hug and kiss and sleep with each other all day, right? That I know that's not all a relationship entails. But the people who say the relationships aren't worth it are probably the people who also believe it. This kind, it just that's what it's supposed to be, right? It's like they don't understand. It's like you have to work on progressing and maintaining a relationship, right? But I mean, I understand all that kind of stuff, right? But gaslighters like, no, you don't, bro. It's like, trust me, like I do my research before I make big purchases. It's like almost like people who buy, maybe some people will hate on this, but it's like people who buy, like Chryslers, right? It's like when people buy like the Chrysler 300, or all this stuff, and it's not like limited due to money, right? Or like they buy, like, what is it, Nissan Altima, right? It's like the people like like this, it's like they don't really do research, because it's like, if you really did, why would you buy such a shitty car? It's like, you don't. That's why I pretty much will only buy with it a Toyota if I can, right? Because I know it's gonna work. I know it's reliable. It's gonna get the job done. It's not gonna fail me, right? Like like a Nissan or a Chrysler, right? Or some, I guess, American sedan for the most part, right? Like a Chevy sedan, something like that, right? I don't even know if they suck, but I know I just don't like them. So you can hate me, I guess, if you like Chevy sedans. Well, that kind of stuff, right? It's like these people don't do their research and like make a smart choice, right? They think, oh yeah, Nissan's a Japanese car, just like a Honda or a Toyota. Let's buy it too, right? It's like, no, it's like, it's not the same. Or like, people who buy Hyundais or Kias. I'm sure I'll get some haters for that, right? I would rather. I maybe not, rather not have a car, but it's like, I probably will never buy, in its current state. It's like, I just don't really see the point of ever buying like a Honda or not a Honda, a Kia or a Hyundai, right? If I can just buy a Toyota, it's so useless, right? It's like it's such a useless thing to do, right? It's like, it's not like those cars are even like luxury brand cars where it's like, oh yeah, it's, what you're getting yourself into, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, buy like, I don't know, like a Mercedes, where it's like, oh, if something goes wrong, you're gonna have to pay a decent amount more than just like what is it, like a Toyota or Honda stuff like that. But it's like you go out of your way to buy something that has a greater risk of not working, and it's not even like a luxury brand or fancy. So it's like, what is the point? So I don't know, just a lot of weird ranting. But this video's gone on much longer than I thought it would be. So yeah, um, weird angle, but weird take. So that's kind of it for now. Later.